Hey, it's Adam Anderson, owner of WealthGuard Advisors.
Hello, it's Blake Anderson, Certified Financial Planner. Thanks so much for joining us.
Today, we're going to be talking about what's going on in the markets today and this week, and also give you a couple ideas. So let's get started, Blake. Want to talk about the S&P 500 and what's going on? I'm going to go ahead and share.
Yeah, we had the markets were closed yesterday as you pull that up. And then today, obviously, is a pretty down day, about 1.25%, 1.5% down. Obviously, the big news of the day is this whole tariff situation around Greenland. Obviously, this sort of economic tensions between the United States and Europe is a pretty big deal. But overall, we expect this to not be a lasting drag on the economy, a lasting drag on the market. We saw similar moves a few months ago. The Liberation Day, the tariffs day last year. So we've seen these scares that happen around these tariffs, and they tend to work their way out.
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate that the fundamentals of the economy are very strong. And all the underlying economic story is very strong. And we see company earnings coming in that are very strong. And really, I see this as just noise. And this is drawing down the market, giving us an opportunity to maybe buy where we've been a little bit neglected to buy in the past. Are we early in this cycle with this news cycle? Maybe a little bit, because we got Davos this week, and there's going to be some other big news that's going to come out that could also, cause some volatility. But right now, if you look at these dips that we've had, it's kind of coming down to that 200-day here. We're just resting on it right now. And I see this as a pretty solid support for the S&P 500. So if you're a long-term investor, I think this is maybe a good entry point. If you're a short-term looking for ins and outs, maybe you want to wait a day or two and see what happens, or a week. But my feeling is that this is noise, and that the underlying fundamentals of the economy are still strong. I want to talk about some trends that we're looking at. And right now, of course, gold and silver are still the big stories. We're not going to talk about that. We've talked about that a lot. Defense is still a big story. We're not going to talk about that. But we really want to dig into some things that maybe are a little bit more nuanced, but a good, solid investment strategy. Blake, you want to start us off in the ideas that we were talking about?
Yeah, one of the things we've been looking at outside of metals and defense, which are obviously the obvious counterplay to today's news, is the onshoring of oil, onshoring of manufacturing. We see a sector that we've been looking at as pipelines. As these more oil comes to American shores through the whole Venezuelan thing, and also just regularly, we're seeing growth in these domestic pipelines for distributing and processing the oil.
One of the companies that we really like, and this is in the building, so we know that the tax structure has changed to incentivize building of factories and building and reshoring of industry to America. So there's a lot of industrial building that's going on in the United States. And one of the companies that does that with not just oil and gas, but just pipelines for water and just building factories, so valves and pipes, and that is a company called Emcore. They were added to the S&P 500 last year. Their pipeline is filling up fast and we see that as a good starting to move an upward trend there. And we wanted to pair that up with a company called Flowserve, and this is a company that really services those kind of pipelines, valves, that infrastructure. And we feel that this is a nice pairing of two companies that are kind of at the put it in and the service it side of this area. So we really like Flowserve. We feel these two companies really complement each other. We don't be over allocated in one sector, but these are two industrial companies that are really benefiting from the reshoring of industry. So just a couple thoughts there for you. We really like that story. And we do feel that the S&P 500, the overall stock market, is the best place to be if you just want to be invested. So that's what we're looking at today. Anything you'd like to add with that, Blake?
No, I think we've covered our general ideas. Thanks so much for listening. Just a reminder, here at WealthGuard Advisors, we're a registered investment advisory firm. And as fiduciaries, we're committed to always putting our clients' best interest first. whether you're approaching retirement, navigating Social Security, Medicare decisions, or simply looking to create a reliable income plan, we're here to help you guide you through those decisions. We specialize in personalized asset management and financial planning designed around your unique goals. If that's something that interests you and you'd like to learn more, we're open for free initial consultations, and we'd love to sit down and chat with you. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you for being with us. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.